All right, guys, let's try this again. So we got the old dump sled out here at it's a pile of trash, and it's been taking dumps on us left and right. So I did get to ride a little, get some tracks out there in the field and whatnot, but I want to show you guys. I took this left this rear axle, the upper bolt right there. I left that feller out. Those wheels, left them out. I looked at it, I'm like, I don't think we need that. It'll just push the rear axle more rearward, and that's good. That's what I want. More track on the ground. So yeah, so I got to ride a little bit, and then it died. I just started it, and it just died. So turn on the fuel again, and the camera fell down and apparently restarted. I need to give her some choke. So you got one dead hole, and it is wobbly. And I do notice I got a broken spring, so I'm wondering if the old crank went. I thought maybe a spark plug fell down in behind the starter gear and broke the crank or something, but really all we've been doing is riding her back and forth. She wasn't running quite too hot, and I figured, you know, probably it's just spark plugs. And so she died halfway out yonder, and I pulled her back home and let her sit here for a little bit, put some new plugs in it, and it does start. It kind of does start. So we gave the old on and off button a bunch of wiggles, and that seemed like it made it run. But something's wrong with the crank. It wobbles, it shakes all around, and if you have any idea what it might be, please do me a great favor and let me know in the comments what it could be. If not, I suppose I'll be looking for a new motor. But the fact of the matter is, tomorrow afternoon we're headed up north for the week. And yeah, not gonna go along if that's the case. So what we do have that does run is the old faithful black girl. So yeah, and this is the whole story in itself. I've been working on this all morning. Turns out the skags are shot. There's the bits of these that are still here right here. If you're on Facebook, follow my Facebook story. There's some pictures of these. I fixed those last year and didn't work out too great, so turn on the old headlamp. So she's been running pretty good. It kind of took till my top of the throttle for it to stop bogging. So yeah, she had tons of power, man, up top. So I'm like, yeah, I put a couple miles on her. I thought I could live with it. And then I'm like, yeah, you know what? I better pull the carbs off and check this thing before we head up north and really try and exacerbate her problems. I'm gonna stick this Kawasaki seat on it. Make some seat risers. Get rid of this old ripped up piece. I got a tail light for it. I figured I'd take the carbs off. I noticed the fuel was still on. Came in here, pulled the carbs off, and this cylinder here, PTO side, is completely full of fuel, just pouring right out. So I took the reed baskets and intakes off, and it was full to the top, just pouring right out. I noticed it was coming out the carb vent when I pulled the carb out, but yeah, full and overflowing fuel everywhere. So this cylinder here is dry. This one, I mean wet. This one's dry. So I got the Schultz gun here. This is a bed liner spray gun from Quartz. It's from Quartz branded bed liner kit that I probably won't ever use again. So I jammed a fuel filter in. Got me a length of fuel hose. Just stuck that right down in her. And this pulls suction to get that bed liner stuff sucked up through. And it worked great. Just put a real haze into the building here. Lots of gas in the air. And I got everything out I can. So, and here's the next problem. Must have eaten a mouse nest. I saw this stuff in there through the carb boots, and I'm like, what is going on? So both of these are actually full of this stuff. So yeah. So it turned out these had the old Pro X floats in them, floats and needles in them. And I went and scratched the one O-ring on the way in. So that's what the problem was. Now they seal. I got this bottle of gas to take the carburetor bowls off. I hooked this bottle of gas up to the carbs, and then I'll squeeze as hard as I possibly can, and that'll tell me right away what if it'll leak or not. So it's not leaking, and that's a good thing. So what I'll do is I'll squeeze the bottle, and then if it doesn't turn wet, I'll raise the floats and just make sure that the fuel's actually coming through, and it worked great. So I'm going to clean the reed valves out. I'm going to want to make sure that the cages are fully closing. Like this reed pedal here has a wet outline. You can see right through it. That one's closing well. I think these reeds are still good. I'm going to clean those out. I checked the air box to make sure there isn't any more bird nests in there. And what I'll do is I'll take some silicone sealer to wipe a little bit around the edges here, or I'll just hold this whole box right in front of the ready heater. I've done the same on here, just wiped a little bit of sealant, very small amount, and that'll help that slide into the carb boot. So that, folks, is it. We're going to be close to the Adirondack Sports Center, just right around the corner from there we'll be staying. I've got Kevin Zimmerman and his family, Christopher from YouTube, as well as Leroy, and one of Kevin's cousins. So Kevin's got all nice skidoos and stuff. He's got a skidoo free ride and just bought another one. I'm not sure, an Assault. I'm not sure. I'm not versed at all on the newer stuff, but I think eventually we'll get there. I cranked up the shocks, so I'm going to move the seating position. The silver's in here. I'm probably going to steal that high-low beam button off of her, and, well, that's sick. That could be it. I was going to steal the skis off, and the last 2 days I was going to work on this, and I didn't. So I've got all the materials. I've got these pre-cut. And then I realized I changed the Pro X rear springs. These are all sacked out. I could probably use that square bar as a guide. And then I've got carbide. 12.5 inches of, I think it's 316 carbide. Just to braze in. I went and got myself a fresh tank of oxygen the other day. I was going to put these grade 8 7/16 bolts end to end. They're very hard. They're harder than key stock, which somebody suggested a long time ago. So maybe I'll use a spring steel and take the angle grinder and grind a little bit of a slot into the, I wish I had a mill, but I don't. I will make a slot into that. And then we'll brace the carbides in. If not, these are Leroy's brand new skis. And I'll probably use these if nothing else. So I really want to get my snowmobile the best it can be. I don't have the time to rebuild the whole front sway bar system like I've done to Reed snowmobile, like I've done to the 2-up, to the long track. Anyway, dudes, that's it. I don't have time to edit everything. But if you do see me on the trail, say hi. Don't be scared to come over and talk. Or get selfies or whatever you want. Too funny. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. God bless you and your families, and have a safe, winter holidays and winter activities. We'll see you.